Hey, what is up, guys? It's Sapnap here with another episode of Banter with Karl, of course. And today we have a very special guest. Karl, if you want to introduce them, you may go ahead.
Yes, I do. I'm going to look up. Josh Peck is an American actor, comedian, and YouTuber.
Oh my God.
I'm just reading off the Wikipedia. Welcome, Josh Peck. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, what an honor, and I'm so glad that you stopped it there. At just those things.
It's a long chunk. There's a lot going on.
It's
You've done
too
a lot.
long.
I don't know if you knew that.
It's too long, Karl. I'll say it. It's too damn long.
Josh, this has been a long time coming. We've talked about getting together, doing something for like quite some time. It feels like, I don't know, but yeah, it's really good to have you. Is this your first time talking to Sapnap? This might be, right?
No, yeah, this is.
You know, Sapnap and I go back. But no,
That's awesome.
It is, and you're right, Karl. We've been like orbiting each other. Like I feel like from afar, we've been like I've been like, I'm a fan, and you're like, I too am a fan. And then we were sort of like, one day gravity will bring us together, and here we are.
Yeah, I missed your podcast by literally one day when I was in LA, which is very unfortunate, but that's okay. Because now we're here together on my podcast, so I get to win.
But you were here, you do win. But you were here, what were you in LA for? I saw you at a fancy premiere.
Yeah, okay. So I recently went to LA to go to the premiere for the Chip and Dale movie, which was crazy. That's my first movie premiere ever. John, I was about to ask if you go to movie premieres. You've literally probably had movie premieres for yourself. What is your first movie premiere? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that's a great question. I did a movie when I was 12 called Snow Day, which was a Nickelodeon movie that
Really?
Karl, if you haven't seen it, treat yourself, because it's quite the ride.
I'm looking at the cover art. It's crazy.
I'm looking at it right now, too.
Just awesome. What the heck? Yeah, so you went to that premiere. What did you think?
I remember it was at Paramount Studios. Okay, let me walk you through the week, because it was pretty darn great.
Yeah, please do.
So, mind you, up until this point, right, till I got this movie, I was 12 years old, doing stand-up comedy at 12 in New York City, and going to, like, performing arts high school. But I was, like, this, like, gutter rat kid who, like, would tell jokes tell jokes on the corner. Like, I was nothing.
Yeah.
So, I get this movie. I'll never forget. I would audition at Nickelodeon all the time because, like, it was my dream to be on it. And
yeah,
I'd audition for little commercials and TV shows, and I auditioned for this movie, and I remember it was Friday night, and my mom gets a call from my agent, and my mom goes, "He got it?" And I I look up on my plate of chicken tenders, I'm like, "I got what, Mom?"
That is awesome.
And
what the heck?
And my agent goes, "He got the movie, like, I hope you guys have passports because you're going to Canada in 5 days to shoot this movie for 4 months." And
Oh my God.
my mom was like, "We don't have passports, like, because we don't need passports to go to New Jersey where we like to vacation." And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, we went to Canada. I do this movie for 4 months. We stayed at a Sheraton. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I can't believe I have my own room with pay-per-view movies and the whole thing and room service. And So long story short, a year later, it's the premiere. They fly all of us to California. I've never been. We spent a week at the Four Seasons Hotel in
Oh, yeah.
This is literally.
I love that you remember all of the hotels to the T. You know exactly. I couldn't tell you what hotel I was at last week, dude. I have no idea.
It's just because.
That's so funny.
And especially, like, that's like, Home Alone, like staying at the Plaza, right? To like a kid like me at that time, like, I remember they were like, you have a, what was it called? What are they, when they take like your credit card when you get incidentals, right? Like, They were like, you have, we'll take care of incidentals. I was like, what does that mean? They're like, you can order as much room service as you want and Nickelodeon will pay for it. I was like, you guys want to.
And how you were 12, you said?
I was like, you guys are trying to keep me fat, and I don't blame you.
That is dangerous, dude. That is dangerous. What the heck? A 12-year-old with non-stop room service?
So I was just like crushing Belgian waffles, and then went to this premiere, which was at the Paramount Studios lot, which is like, of all the lots in LA, it's the most sort of picturesque Hollywoody. So long story short, that was it was like the perfect Hollywood experience for my first one.
That is so cool. That is awesome.
What is that like being like a kid and having to like, because surely you're like in school and stuff, and then for that 4 months just focusing on a movie. I'm sure like how do you do school and movie and like balance all that when you're like 12 years old or whatever?
So I was going to performing arts high school in New York where a lot of the kids were either on Broadway or doing TV shows. So it wasn't odd for kids to leave to work. So in that way, I was lucky because when I got to do this movie, they were like, so 3 hours a day, you are going to meet with a tutor and they are going to help you with your schoolwork for that week. And so yeah, so luckily my school was really cool with like sending all the work for that week to this tutor. And then basically when you have one-on-one teaching, you can kind of accomplish what you would do in an 8 hour day in 3 hours if you
Yeah,
actually
you can just like ham it out. I guess I have another question after that. Like, how do you? Because like, it sounds like your school experience is very different than mine. You said you went to like the school where that's very uncommon. Like, I went to just some I don't know random public high school that was just like the closest one to my house, for example. Like,
Sure.
how do you just get into a like? Do you purposefully go into a school like that? Like, how did you decide that you were gonna go to a school like that?
I remember I went to I was going to like a normal elementary school and I graduated from there and I was all set to go to like the middle school in my district. There was my mom like 10 days before the school year started was like, "Hey, you love acting and you've been doing like stand-up comedy. Randomly we sneak you into stand-up comedy clubs at 11 o'clock at night and you go up and do like 5 minutes with your super high voice. Like maybe you would like this school because basically for the first half of the day you do like typical academics and then for the second half of the day you either do drama or vocal or dance or instruments and I auditioned and I got in and it basically was like, yeah, I mean, I feel like every sort of city has their performing arts high school and I was just lucky to get into this one.
Wait, what city are you originally from?
New York.
Oh, really? That's so funny. Yeah, I was born in the Bronx.
Really?
I was I lived upstate though, but yeah, I'm from New York, yeah.
And then how did you make it down? Because you live in North Carolina now or no?
Yeah, I've been all over the place. I went to high school in Charleston, South Carolina.
Is it beautiful there? I've only heard good things.
Charleston is gorgeous, dude. Charleston is gorgeous. And like it really is like if you don't know what southern food is, you got to go to Charleston and have like shrimp and grits. I will say right before I went to this LA trip, me and Sapnap took a car, drove down from North Carolina to Florida where he lives. And I forced us to stop at Charleston because I was like, we need to have shrimp and grits before we make our way all the way down. So I got Sapnap to finally eat like shrimp and grits, which was like my favorite meal of all time when I was in high school. And what did you think, Sapnap? Be honest.
It was delicious. You saw me. I had scarfed the whole thing down before anyone was halfway done. It was just in my stomach instantly. It was awesome.
Have you had shrimp and grits?
I don't know if I ever have officially had like proper shrimp and grits, but I got to tell you, your guys' idea of a road trip sounds like a joy for me. Like you are
really,
yeah. You guys are going to Charleston, like you're going to cute areas for good food. It's like normally like people like your guys' age be like, we're going to Myrtle Beach, and we're gonna freaking rage, like, and you're
Not
like,
Myrtle Beach,
we're gonna
no
go,
shot.
we're gonna eat shrimp and grits, and then go to a really charming antique store.
That's the best. Like I feel like I'm such like a food person. Like I would much rather like when people go on a road trip, like you said, like they want to go out and like go to parties and stuff. I just want to go down and eat the best food at each state and each city that we pass by.
I will say we literally detoured the trip 2.5 hours to be able to go to Charleston. Like Charleston wasn't directly on the way. We actually stopped there just so I could show them shrimp and grits. That's how like obsessed I was with it. But let me tell you, dude, you would not have liked to be on that road trip.
No.
And I'll explain why, okay?
Oh, yes.
I won't explain the reasoning for it. I can tell you later, Josh, but we were in a Tesla Model X for the car trip. And something we really didn't think through was a Tesla has to stop to charge.
Sure.
And we had a 9-hour trip that turned into an 11-hour trip because we wanted to stop in Charleston. And then the 11-hour trip, because we had to stop to charge so frequently, turned into a 16-hour trip.
Wow.
And it was all in one night. We did it all, no stopping.
Were you finding superchargers on? You have to do superchargers, right? Because a different charger would take too long.
Exactly. Yeah. So we found superchargers along the way, but like when you get to Georgia and stuff, they like, you know, like Georgia just found technology. so there's like there's like 2 superchargers total in Georgia. You know what I mean? So like you had to like save up all your power, get to the other one. It was crazy. It was bonkers.
Yeah. Also, Model X's kind of suck, like in terms of like because like they're bigger than like a Model 3 or a Model S. Like they eat up that charge way faster, and you have to stop more, which is annoying.
Sapnap, where are you in Florida?
I'm in Orlando, but I'm not from Orlando in Florida. I was born in Houston, Texas, and I moved here like last year to live with Dream.
Beautiful Orlando, a lot to offer. There was this one steak restaurant that I ate at in Orlando, and I'm like, this is good steak for Orlando. Anyway,
The Rainforest Cafe?
Yeah, probably. It was a Cracker Barrel.
I love the Rainforest Cafe. Yeah, you just stopped at a Cracker Barrel on an exit or something.
I took Carl, which I can now say it was not a Mexican restaurant, because on our last podcast I was telling how before we went on the road trip I was explaining to Carl I wanted to take him somewhere, but we didn't want to like give hints to where we were going because it got released while we're on the road trip. But I took Carl to like the #1 sushi spot I've ever eaten at ever, and I don't know if Carl can speak on it, but it was really, really good.
Yeah, the sushi was crazy. I will say that. The sushi was definitely crazy.
In Orlando?
Yeah, in Orlando.
In Orlando. That's why I was shocked because, Orlando, let's be honest. Like, Orlando sushi was never supposed to be good. That was never supposed to be.
Yeah, you can't be great at all things.
No. They have Disney. They can't also have sushi. That's messed up. But I'll stand by. And Josh, I'm assuming, are you a sushi guy?
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
From my experience, New York has the best sushi.
I have not. I believe it, but I think Los Angeles could easily be right there, if not better.
There's a world, but every single time I go to LA, I tell somebody, please show me your favorite sushi spot. It's never beaten New York for me. I don't know why. I don't know, but I don't. Yeah. What is your like favorite food that you've like ever had, like top food?
I love great Italian food. It's a little bougie, like it's way too fancy for a guy like me. But recently, my buddy, have you heard of this restaurant Carbone in New York?
Carbone. I definitely have not eaten at it. If I have heard it,
what I would say is it's first famous because it is maybe the greatest Italian food I've ever had. Secondly,
really? Because
it's so good and cool, it happens to be like incredibly sceney, and I feel like if I'm not like, married to Justin Bieber, I shouldn't even be there. But my buddy randomly was like, I know I've got to connect there. So, if you ever want to go, like it's not a hard reservation to get. And I happen to be in the city. I'm like, let's go. I'd love to try it. Like, we all know I'm a thick boy at heart. And we had a meal like, Carl, you would not believe. It was really good.
God, I'd kill right now for some good Italian. I live in North Carolina. There's just about, how you said, Orlando can't have everything? I feel like North Carolina just about doesn't have anything in terms of food. I love living here because I get to work with like Mr. Beast and stuff. But wait, did Sapnap just leave? Internet issues are easily the most annoying thing to me ever. 100%.
That's the perfect segue. Carl, and Sapnap, have you guys been offered any celebrity boxing matches yet?
I will say I definitely have been DM'd with people being like, is this something that you have any interest in? Blah, blah, blah. And for me, I'm like, oh man, definite no. I'm like, I wear multiple layers every single day just so I can look like I weigh a little bit more than I do. Like, definitely not.
I've gotten some DMs about the same thing, but I think I'd be interested. I'd fight someone.
Sapnap's a little bit more
aggro.
But
if I fought someone, I would like, I don't know. I feel like I would be out for blood. Like I would try and like murder them in the ring. Like, there's no just being friends about it.
How about you, Josh? Have you?
I would say no. I've never been offered, and I would love to fight Logan or Jake Paul. And no beef. Like I like the guys. Like it would purely solely be for money. Like lots and lots of money. But
yeah, no, trust.
And the only
lots.
First of all,
oh my God.
I'm obviously not famous enough to fight them if like literally Logan's about to fight Mike Tyson. But secondly, what I would say is the two things that are holding me back is I'm too sensitive for all the trash talk, and I don't want to take my shirt off on camera.
Yeah,
But other than
that's
that,
the biggest one for me. That's the biggest one for me. I don't want to take my shirt off on camera. That's so terrifying.
I'll say this, dude. I've met both of them. I guess recently. Jake a little bit more recently than Logan, and just through like Mr. Beast videos and stuff like that. And they are both sweet in person, but so ripped, dude. I don't know how much it would cost. A lot of money for me to just, because it's me just getting beat up by them in a ring. Like, that's what it would be. They are jacked. It is crazy.
Oh, that's at Ohio strength. Like, there should be like a bumper sticker on the back of both of their, like a tramp stamp, like on their lower backs. It says like "Built Ohio Tough."
No,
is Ohio
it's true. It's true.
Wait,
our friend Foolish is from Ohio, and he's like ripped too. Like, it must be an Ohio thing. They feed them just like steroids over there. That's what they eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Whole milk.
I think
whole
it's
milk.
because, yeah. I think it's because Ohio's so bad of a state that they can't help but do anything except for
That's all they have to do.
Ohio's got some winning things about it.
Come on,
You've been
say that.
You've been to Cedar Point? Do you know what that is?
I knew he was gonna say Cedar Point. That's the thing. That is the thing. Anytime anybody's like, "No, Ohio's not bad," they bring up Cedar Point. Actually, I have not been to Cedar Point.
It's a good time.
There was a point in time where I genuinely would think less of somebody if they said they were from Ohio.
Fascinating. Any other states you have a vendetta against?
Honestly, I'm going to say this, and it's going to upset Sapnap. Texas.
No.
For a little bit there, because I've met a few Texans in a row that were really that stereotypical, everything's bigger here, like, we're better, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I get it, bro. Like, it's funny because, like, I feel like I'm from New York, and everybody from New York, you'll know they're from New York because they'll tell you in the first 15 minutes of talking to you. But but Texas is the same way, but it pisses me off when Texas does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's something annoying about every state, and I also find there's something annoying, like, no matter what, even if you're born in LA or New York or like some major city, you should always leave for a bit. Like, I'll go back to New York and I'll be with friends who like never left the city, and they'll literally be like, "What's good, family? Like, I'm not trying to come out of pocket right now." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yo, you're to New York. Like, you needed, like, you should have gone to Arizona State. Like, you needed to get out of here for a little, at least."
I feel like I got lucky to where I got to because I grew up in New York and then went to high school in Charleston and then went to college. Like, I feel like I've gone all over the place in a lot of my different turning points in my life to where I got lucky for that kind of thing. But yeah, I agree. I think anybody that lives in the same spot for too long, it ends up rotting their brain.
Yeah, I can see that. You
guys have it beat too. Like, you guys are so smart, and I say that specifically about you, Karl, and you, Sapnap, because, like, listen, we can't all be as rich as Sapnap.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, not everyone can have this kind of money. It's crazy. It's overwhelming.
But you guys are successful in crushing it in not a major city, and yet able to have the impact that you would still have in LA or New York. So, like, to be like well off in an area where real estate prices aren't historically through the roof. Like, I imagine like if I had family in, I don't know, Scottsdale, or like, where's another fun place to live? St. Louis. Like, I would be like, and I could just make that my home base. That would be incredible.
Yeah, no kidding. My problem with it, though, is I really genuinely miss living in a city, though. Like, I really love living in a city. I love the time I've spent in Seattle. I really love Seattle. That's, like, one of the cities I've never lived in that I really want to. You know what I mean? So, like, that's the problem that I have, is I feel like at my core, I just enjoy living in a city much more than living in, like, the suburbs.
You know what's weird about that is I lived in Houston my whole life, and that's the fourth largest city in the U.S., but it didn't really feel like a city. And, like, when I went to London to visit George, that felt like a city to me. Like, I don't know, like, we walked places everywhere and stuff like that. And I feel like I want to live in a city. I've never lived in a quote-unquote, like, city. I feel like I want to experience that next.
We should do, like, a real world, like, but it's just the three of us in a major city, and I'm like ushering you guys around like the older brother.
That sounds like a plan to me. So Josh, I want to know what you've been up to as of late. You've been all over the place. You've been Turner and Hooch. Did I say right? Don't mess me up.
Turner and Hooch, yes. Well done.
Okay, thank God. Holy cow.
Yes.
I've read it so many times and I've never said it out loud, so I was like, oh God. Yeah, you were on Turner and Hooch. How was that?
It was good times. It was on Disney Plus. It was so fun. It's very canceled, but it was a great show for one season.
It's very canceled. Oh God.
But
canceled in a not continuing on way.
Yeah, we just only did one season, but it was fabulous, and I got to play like the original Turner and Hooch was a movie from the '80s with Tom Hanks, and so I got to play streaming's 2021's Tom Hanks. So I'm
So you're officially what you're going to go on a limb and say is that you're better than Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what, guys? It's not a limb, okay?
All right, perfect. We have a title. Perfect.
Just what we needed.
This is why you guys are as good as you are.
We got him. All right, we can end.
I mean, it was funny because I met Tom Hanks randomly at this birthday party like years back, and he was as wonderful and charming as you can imagine. And now that I'm sure he was aware of the show in some respect, even though I'm pretty sure he didn't really want anything to do with it, and who could blame him? But I wonder, I wonder, and this is total wishful thinking, but if somehow I was lucky enough to be in a movie with him one day, I wonder if he'd be like, "Hey, saw that thing you did, trying to be me, huh?" Like,
yeah.
He would definitely.
So you bumping into a party is not enough. You need more Tom Hanks.
I need plenty of Tom Hanks in my life, but I'm sure there would be some gentle ribbing.
Who doesn't need more Tom Hanks?
I feel like this brings up a good question to me. Is you have been in the limelight obviously since your massive hit Snow Day, just like the and I feel like since then you kind of have just been in the limelight for quite some time. What is like a celebrity that you haven't met that you really want to meet?
Oh God, I mean, I guess for as a present for the listeners, I will say Oprah. Because I'm sure there are a couple Drake and Josh fans.
Wait, you've never met Oprah?
No, I mean, not really. I've only met her body double that I hit with a car on Drake and Josh. But
that is crazy that's such a thing from Drake and Josh, and you've never ended up meeting Oprah.
I wonder if Oprah has like a niece or like a friend's child who've been like, "Are you okay?" And she says, "Why?" And they go, "Well, Josh Nichols hit you with his car. Like, I just want to make sure you like." I wonder if she has any awareness of how much we were obsessed with her on the show.
That is so funny. She has to have, right? Like, she had to have heard of that.
I mean, granted, she's pretty darn, I imagine she's busy. But the show was certainly big enough to where, like, maybe over the last 15 years, she's heard a whisper of the fact that some silly kid show was constantly talking about her.
That is so... No, it has to have been. It has to have happened. So Oprah's your pick?
Oprah would be amazing. I'm trying to think of, like, someone... And this is... do you want to give me any, like, guidelines, Karl? Or this is just, like, anyone famous, no matter what?
It doesn't even need to be, like, that famous. Like, if you... Like, if you're thinking, like, A-list celebrity, for instance, somebody that I'm dying to meet is Pendleton Ward, who's the creator of Adventure Time. And I wouldn't even consider... I don't know if he's, like, an A-list celebrity per se, but, like, he's, like, somebody that's, like, in my opinion, like, up there that is hard to reach that I would like to meet one day. You know what I mean?
My hero is Pharrell. And so I think it would be cool to sit around and just ask him questions for an hour. Like, if you were like, you can go to lunch with anyone and just pick their brain, it'd be Pharrell.
Really? Okay.
I just think, like, for the longest time, granted, once, like, Happy came out, like, the last 10 years has been an explosion for Pharrell. But until then, I always sort of, when asked, like, who would you want to be like? I'm like, well, Pharrell is, like, the dopest dude that not the entire world had heard about, right? Like, but everyone important knew of him. He, there's no party he couldn't get into. He was rich. He was successful. And respected, but he could still kind of walk down the street. Now, of course, it's not the case, like the whole world. But yeah, I just think, like, I like the clothes he makes. I like the music he makes. I like that he's not always in your face. Like, he picks moments where he really wants to be public, and then he kind of, like, goes and chills with his family. So yeah, I've always looked up to him.
That's really cool. I feel like in the same way that you look at him, I look at Tyler the Creator.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
I
me,
think,
but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Oh, and Josh Peck. Tyler.
I mean, you think Tyler the Creator? You think good old JP? No.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, you can't think of one without the other. But I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I'd ever want to meet Tyler the Creator just because I'd be too nervous. I think.
Yeah, really.
I think I would botch it. I really think I would. But in the same way that you're talking about Pharrell, I look at Tyler because I think he's one of the best musical artists of all time, barring nothing. I think he genuinely is one of the best. I think he still hasn't peaked, basically. I think his last 3 albums have all been straight 10s to me. And then on top of that, if you think about it, he's made 2 extremely successful clothing lines, one being Odd Future and then now Golf. He's really what I look to as like he doesn't just do one thing really well. He does so many different things really well, and it's something that I aspire to want to do.
I think you make a great point. I think, he's so impressive. And I only got hip. I remember I watched Tyler the Creator's NPR Tiny Desk. Because until that moment, I remember I had like a very boomer opinion of him, which was like, yeah, I know he's cool and all, but like, where are the hits? Like, where are the hits? And friends would always be you're missing it. Like, it's the whole album's an experience. Like, it's bigger than just one song. And then I saw him on Tiny Desk, and I was like, I get it. And yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, he's like such a visionary to me. I think so.
What Sapnap, you?
I was trying to think of a celebrity, but I feel like I was always more of like a sports person. So I feel like
I was gonna say an athlete's a celebrity.
Yeah, okay. Because I was thinking like musician or like actor or something. But I guess like I would have to choose an athlete. And I feel like I would choose probably Hakeem Olajuwon because I just think he's so cool. He's like the best Rockets player.
I don't even know what sport that is.
That's basketball.
That's
the best
basketball?
Rockets player of all time. I don't know. He's just so cool. So awesome. I don't know. He got us our only championships we have. So, and I'm a huge Rockets fan. So that would be my pick. I wish I could talk more, but he was just really good at basketball.
Would you wanna 1v1 him?
Oh God, he would destroy me, but I would do it. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. He's pretty old now. He's probably like in his 60s, bro.
No.
I mean,
Stop.
he is 7 foot tall, which gives him a slight advantage.
I feel like the best Houston Rockets player in his 60s is still better than you at basketball. I think that's a safe assessment. I feel like he could be 80 probably and still have a fighting chance.
I would like to see like a game of horse between you and Hakeem Olajuwon. Sapnap.
Oh, that's where he would for sure kill me. I was thinking maybe I have a shot because he's 59, so like maybe he can't run for very long. He's probably
you just get a dirty foul on him early on, break his hip or something.
Just like give him a little jab in the hip. He can't run anymore, and then I win.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful that you'd want to take out your celebrity that you want to meet.
A Texas icon.
Take them out of the game. Yeah, an absolute Texas icon. But hey, you know what none of these guys have done, or maybe they have and I just didn't know, is release a book just like the more famous than any of those people Josh Peck has recently. Josh, talk to us about your book. It's called Happy People Are Annoying by Josh Peck, by the way. A 5 out of 5 in Target reviews.
Not bad. I'm pretty sure my mom was the sole reviewer on the Target website, but nevertheless.
On Target's website.
Yeah, I wrote a book. It's called Happy People Are Annoying, and it's basically my whole life. It's the most millennial thing I could ever do, which is to think I could write a memoir at 35. But but more so it was like I knew I wanted to write something that was like for people like us, right? Like my age and younger, people that are going through life, navigating, sort of that first chapter, that first quarter of your life in theory. And I feel like most memoirs or self-help books are written by people who feel like they're at the finish line. And I wanted to write one from like the perspective of someone who's still in the fight. And someone who's accomplished some things and learned a lot of things and also totally face planted and like give you my perspective, a little bit of my sort of theory on how the best way is to go about things. And, it's a good recon from the front lines. Like I'm just a couple years older. So here's what I've experienced from the halfway point. And if I can be of any help to you, great. If not, there's just some good stories in it.
That's really cool. I feel like a lot of people don't like think about it like that, but I think it is really, really interesting because I will say, at least from my experience, I don't have any guidance for anything I've ever done. I feel like a lot of the things that we do and a lot of things that you did or have done and still do in general is like very front lines. Nobody's done a lot of it. You know what I mean? Or at least like if anybody's done it before, it hasn't been long enough to where somebody has like a guidebook for it. Little, you know what I mean? Like nobody's really telling me what to do. Nobody was telling me, oh, like everybody's locked in their house, capitalize, you better stream as much as possible. You know what I mean? It's just something that we kind of, you just like have to like kind of like learn all that kind of stuff on your own. And I think that, yeah, you writing a book like that is really, really cool to me. I think that's awesome.
I appreciate it. And I think that, yeah, guys like you who are incredibly successful, the both of you, I would imagine you go through something similar, which is we all want to look up to the people who have a lot of success in these areas and feel like, oh, if only I had that, then I'd be all better. Or then sort of like the challenges of life wouldn't plague me. Like I would level up out of it. But the reality is even with all those blessings and wonderful accomplishments, like you're still navigating all that stuff. And I was like, well, if someone who's going through something was watching me when I was 21 and I know personally what I was going through, and they were like, really? You were insecure? I just thought you were locked in a treehouse with no doors. And I'm like, no, I actually was dealing with some tough, inner battles. I feel like that hopefully can give people a little bit of permission to feel okay about what they're going through.
Yeah, I think that's something that also is like, I don't think a lot of people that are in, at least I can only speak from my experiences, obviously, right? So like for me, when I talk about it, I'm talking about like in the industries I'm in, like whether that be just content creation as a whole or that, right? But I feel like it's very lacking how many people actually talk about like conflicts that they go through inside of the content creation world. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't really talk about that. I think whenever stuff happens, if somebody like, is going through a rough spot, then people DM them on the side and tell them, hey, it'll be okay. But there's not really much going out like publicly, like talking about that kind of stuff. And I think it's interesting.
Because we only want to show our curated life on social media. Like we always show us at the table with like the big bottle of champagne Saturday night. We never show us wrapped around the toilet bowl Sunday morning looking demoralized.
Just to be clear, Sapnap has the biggest bottle of champagne in that picture.
That is true.
Because he's so rich.
All right, I have a question. How many pages is the book?
I think
no, hold on. This is gonna segue into something else.
Okay, all right.
I think it's about 250.
How do you write 250 pages? Because whenever I was,
that's actually.
Whenever I was
gonna make fun of him. This is a good question.
I couldn't write one page without being like, oh my god, this is terrible. I hate this. How do you put down 250 pages worth of words and make it make sense?
Oh my gosh, it's so boring, the answer, which is like what we know. It's like brick by brick, like you do a little bit a day and then you really outline it because like we all want to believe that writing and everything else, like we watch like the great athletes, right? We watch a young Hakeem Olajuwon,
Yes.
Just get bodied by Sapnap. We watch
get dunked on and
scoring 45 points as young Sapnap's eating Dunkaroos in his living room, dreaming of what could be. And that's incredible to watch. What's boring to watch is probably the 500 free throws he did the day before and the day before that, and the tens of thousands of hours of nuance and hard work that went into it. And similarly, like we see writing in movies, right? It's like some, troubled, writer drinks a bunch of cheap wine and goes to a cabin and sits in front of his typewriter, and then finally he gets inspired and he types out the whole book and the sun's coming up and he's like draped over his typewriter and he's just finished 300 pages. Like it is not cute like that. It's like literally writing an outline for 3 months and really like making that bulletproof. And then spending the next 9 months like writing stuff and sending it to people and them telling you why it's good or why it sucks. And Yeah, it's just, it's brick by brick. It's a little bit every day.
How many? What was your reaction if somebody ever like? Did you have somebody just be like, "No, that sucks. You need to restart"?
Yeah, I had a book advisor who straight up was like, yeah, there were moments where he'd be like, there was one chapter he said start the whole thing over, and I was like, but it's 25 pages. He was like, start again.
That is awesome.
This ain't it. And then thankfully, knock wood, the book has been pretty well received universally, but there was certainly, I mean, someone spent an entire podcast ripping the book apart, and I was like, I'm gonna need this person's address.
I didn't tell you yet. This is the other podcast.
Yeah, this is the one?
Sequel, yeah. We're gonna continue doing that.
Listen, all I'm saying, Target gave it a 5, Audible.com gave it a 4.9 out of 5. So somebody at Audible...
It's my lisp. It's because I had to read the book, and they have prejudice against boys with lisps.
Wait, did you read the book for Audible?
I did.
Oh my God, so you like, if I wanted to listen to you read your book...
Yeah.
I think that's going to have to be the move.
I'm bad at actually reading books. I like listening to, like, audiobooks.
Really? Are you a big Audible guy?
Yeah, I think if I were to read a book, I would just listen to it instead. Because I'm such like I know I'm saying this on a podcast, but I've been listening to like about 7 podcasts a week since middle school. Like I have always listened to podcasts. Like it's always what I've been about. So like it feels just more at home. Also, I just hate reading, which is ironic because I really like writing. Like I like writing, but what I can't comprehend for you writing a book is making it neat and organized, because I feel like my favorite writing style is something that I learned when I was watching a documentary about Tim Schafer. I don't know if you know who Tim Schafer is. He's like a game. He writes games. He wrote Psychonauts. He did Brutal Legend and like stuff like that. And he's like, in my opinion, his games are the funniest games that's ever been made. So I was always curious like how he did it. And he has a style where he just writes and he doesn't stop writing. Like he like has notebooks upon notebooks of just gibberish. Like, and sometimes like if he can't think of anything to write, he'll write, I can't think of anything. What's going on? I literally can't think of anything. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Until like it'll like keep sparking his brain. And like during the documentary, he was like showing there was about 15 notebooks side by side, and he's like, little bits and pieces in there is what made Psychonauts. And I was like, that is so inspiring.
That is really cool.
And I gave it a shot, and I that's where I write. That is how I write. I can only do free flow writing. I don't know how to do it any other way.
Yeah, there's a famous book for artists called The Artist's Way, and I say that only because I haven't actually read it, but what I've heard, and it's basically about honoring that creative part of you, right? Because there's so much of that negative self-talk and self-critique, and I'll never finish it, or what I'm doing is not good enough. And it talks about these things that are called morning pages, which is like literally whatever that in quotes writer's block is, or whatever that like self-critical, like get that out in 2 or 3 pages every morning of just like maybe inspiration hits you the moment you get up, or maybe you're just like, today's going to be a crap day and here's another crap pages, and what's new? Negative Nancy over here starting the day off on a on a real win. But it's helpful to get all that out, and it kind of makes room for the good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, baby.
That's really.
We're staying inspired
really cool. Maybe
over
I should
here.
give that a shot.
I'd read your guys' book. Maybe
That's it. I'm gonna start a book.
Can I read your guys' audiobook? I'm great at it.
If I write a book, I wouldn't want anybody else to do the audio. It has to be Josh Peck. I have dibs.
I'm gonna do it with a voice, so I'm gonna be like, "And a life, Carl's life." Read by Josh Peck.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. What on earth?
It started in the Bronx.
This is my question I ask every single person that comes on the podcast. A, do you believe in ghosts or not, and why? And then B, do you have a ghost story? Because I always find ghost stories so fascinating. I could listen to an hour long of someone telling a ghost story.
I hate to disappoint you, but I don't have a good ghost story, because as a child, when I was afraid of ghosts, when it would be appropriate to be afraid of things that don't exist, there was a surrogate grandmother of mine, a woman named Edna, who took care of me my whole life, my mom's best friend, and was like one of the great people in my life. And I remember being afraid of of some sort of paranormal activity in my room at 8 years old. And I voiced it to Edna. And Edna turned to me and said, baby, you better be worried of people that are on Earth. And I was like, good point, Edna. And from then on, I was like, I'm more scared of people who are living.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That is fair. Like I don't believe in ghosts either, but I don't know. I just love like ghost stories. I just like creepy stories. I don't know why. Like I remember one of the times I went to Carl's, we sat in his upstairs and watched like creepypasta YouTube things for like hours on end. And I just think they're so cool.
We literally just sat there on the couch just watching them. Some of them were so like I like creepypastas. Do you know what we're talking about when we say creepypastas?
No.
It's just straight up just like horror stories that are narrated by like a narrator
like with a
YouTube.
deep voice. It's like
and it's like he's just telling a horror story and then kind of having like
some animation on the screen,
some 2D animation just portraying the story.
That's fun.
And I'll tell you, it is fun no matter what, and let me explain why, okay?
Yes.
Because either you're going to get a good horror story that you're like, yeah, that was actually fun, that was fascinating, or it's trash and it's really funny. So it's one of the two that you're going to get every single time. And let me tell you this, Josh, because you second-handedly made me extremely scared as a kid, talking about horror stories. You were in a movie named Max Keeble's Big Move. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
I don't, but I'm ready.
Max Keeble's Big Move. It came out. When did that come out? 2001. Okay. I was a kid, like young kid. There was a scene in it that had this massive frog that just walked around. That is the most terrifying thing that's ever existed. And I had to watch it because I was a fan of you, of course, and I watched a lot of stuff that you were in.
I'd only been in Snow Day at that point.
I definitely did not watch it in 2001. I was 3 years old in 2001.
Wow,
I'm talking about like, yeah. No, I didn't want to add my age to it, but yeah, I was 3 in 2001. So most of the movies and stuff that I watched as a kid was like, oh, we had it in VHS form. My sister's a few years older than me, so I just kind of like ended up watching it, right? So yeah, Max Keeble's Big Move. If anybody has never watched that movie, just look up Max Keeble's Big Move Frog, and that thing was an absolute nightmare to me. Like a genuine nightmare to me as a kid. And I was always so scared of that part. I don't know why.
I feel so bad.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. I remember that, and I remember there being a scary ass frog. But this leads me to my next question because it correlates with my answer about ghosts. Is do you guys believe in an afterlife?
Oh, snap. Well, you go first. What do you think?
Well, it has to do with the ghost thing, which is that like I don't think there can be ghosts because I don't think there's any version of an afterlife. Like I believe in the law of energy, that it can neither be created or destroyed. So like we're just walking balls of energy who, when we expire, we just become energy for worms. And then they basically, help create new things.
Worst case scenario, we're helping out a ton of worms.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
That's pretty good.
Best case.
I feel like personally for me, I just think I get so freaked out thinking about that kind of stuff that I just don't think about it, and then I just move on.
That's like me with taxes. That's why I don't pay taxes.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Too scary, no thanks. Sapnap, you?
I'm kind of in the same boat with Carl that like I don't want to think about it. It's very scary, and
that stuff freaks me out. I don't know.
You just pretend that it doesn't matter, even though it I guess it doesn't. Like what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, my thought process is no matter what, like if there's an afterlife or not, me believing that there isn't gonna change that, right? Or me like thinking about it anymore isn't gonna make there be more or less of an afterlife. You know what I mean? Like if it was gonna happen, it's gonna happen, right? So I just don't think about it too much, if I'm being completely honest.
That's cool, guys. When you get to my age, it's fascinating, dude. When people are like in their 50s or 60s and they're like, yeah, we're just like in the market for some good plots. I'm like, plots of what? They're like, like just want to make sure we can all be buried together. I'm like, oh my God. And then people will get like really hyped. They'll be like, we got really good placement at the cemetery. And
dang, that makes me think I want to get like a good spot.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're overlooking the freeway. It's super peaceful.
Yeah.
We should buy it now, like while there's still space. You know what I mean? There's just gonna become less and less space for your grave as
I
time
want one
goes
of those
on.
where it's like a whole like they build
A
like a whole like,
mausoleum?
structure around
Yeah,
it.
I want that
Yeah.
too.
No, you don't,
maybe?
Carl.
Why?
That's my rub with these things. It's like those things technically. I mean, you can have like a super dope tombstone that's like, I don't know, has like a small, I don't know what you're into, like a roller coaster around it or something. But like the mausoleums are people are buried in those buildings, like in a cement block above the ground. So it's like your
Whoa.
body kind of goes to waste. Like my whole thing is like, no, back to the earth as soon as possible.
Yeah, interesting.
At least that's my
Interesting.
opinion. What do I
Maybe
know?
maybe
You
I
should
maybe
do
I
the
just get,
tree
like,
thing. You should do the tree thing where they bury you and then a tree grows from your dead body, and then that's like ideal. You can become a tree. That's like the idea behind it, I think.
I get a tombstone that has one of those basketball hoops that you put on the back of the door. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. That's not
Your
bad.
family
Maybe you
can
can-
come.
Whenever somebody wants to put flowers on the tombstone, they have to like shoot it.
Yeah, or they have to do like a dunk.
Oh, that'd be big. Maybe a scoreboard, and it just constantly ticks up, no matter what. It never resets. That'd be crazy. So you know how many people have shot a flower through the hoop? That would be bonkers. Yeah, never mind. That's what I want. And you know what reminds me of that is not what I'm about to bring up. That's a good segue. That was not bad.
That's pretty good.
Because now it's my turn for the Karl question. Okay. And I probably should have made you start thinking about this beforehand, so I'm kind of putting you on the spot. But I'm an absolute animation nerd. I love cartoons. Cartoons are some of my favorite pieces of media ever. What is your favorite cartoon of all time? And when I say that, that could be a show, movie, and that doesn't need to be Western animation. It could be anime if you prefer anime, whatever you think. It's just animation, period.
Well, I have like, I have a bit of like a multi-tiered answer to that. Like
Go for it. You're good.
it's not for pure enjoyment because I don't watch it. Like I watch it, but like not regularly, and it's not something I've even close to seen every episode of. Like South Park is genius. It's been genius
Yeah, okay.
for 25 years or however long it's been on. It will continue to be genius, and they're ahead, right? Like they can literally put out, if the world shuts down on March 15th, assuming they're allowed to work, a full South Park episode about the pandemic will come out 1 month later. Like how quickly can media comment on social events?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy how quick they are with that kind of stuff. I agree. Yeah.
Have you watched that doc, the 6 Days doc on South?
No, what is that?
It's something to the effect of like how they can make an episode in 6 days, like a fully completed. You have to watch it. It's brilliant.
That's actually a good answer. So wait, why is it multi-tiered? Do you have
Well,
other?
like there were certainly like fundamental things in my youth of like Beauty and the Beast or or Toy Story. Like I mean, I was like prime. Like Toy Story was what 94, 95. I was I was 10 or no, I was like 9. So that was like what? Like they're making animated movies on computers. So like certain things like that had an effect. But even like the most recent Spider-Man I thought was brilliant.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse?
Unreal.
That was amazing. That really was an amazing
It is beautiful.
movie.
So you'd put Toy Story as your favorite Pixar movie?
I'm going to venture to say yeah. But I don't, with a caveat of I haven't watched a lot of them over the last 20 years.
That's fair. That's fair. My answer, and it's so cemented, my favorite Pixar movie is definitely Ratatouille. Ratatouille is the best.
Ratatouille's genius.
Pixar movie
I've
of all
seen
time.
that. And
I love Ratatouille so much.
do you know Anthony Bourdain?
No.
Anthony Bourdain was unfortunately passed away, but he was a brilliant, he was a chef first and foremost, but a brilliant writer, and then had a show on CNN and the Travel Channel. But he wrote a book called Kitchen Confidential, which was kind of like a look behind the curtain of what it's like in a kitchen and, just restaurant culture and how it can be really wild and drinks and drugs and sex and all this stuff. And but he always said that Ratatouille was the most accurate depiction of what a real kitchen's like.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so interesting to me. What the heck? That's really cool. I think what Pixar does really, really well is they really do their research for everything. I think a lot of their movies, they really go in on it and they really like full full send get into it. You know what I mean? So I think that's interesting.
I had heard that their process for a really long time, the reason why each movie would take this was maybe before the Disney acquisition, but like a movie would take 2+ years and cost 100 million, plus, was that they'd spend a year developing, and sometimes they would make a movie, or at least make half, like they would walk a full movie down the road 3/4 of the way just to see where it didn't work and then scrap it and start again. But that the process was worthwhile because in failing, they realized they got so much closer to what would win.
Yeah, that's actually amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can I put this on the pod? I would love to have you guys on my podcast, Male Models Pod. Whenever you guys are in LA, I would love it. Me and my
100%.
my co-host Joe. Please, Sapnap, you too?
Please, I'll be there.
Sapnap's never been to LA before.
I have never been to LA. I need to lose my LA virginity card, so.
Well, we've never had a male model on from Orlando.
Yeah, with big muscles and lots of money.
That's funny that you say that, because since we're nearing the end of the episode, we have to talk about a reviewer of Apple Podcasts. If you want a chance to get shout out, you can review us on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, like Allegrator did on Apple Podcasts with 5 stars. Says, "Hi guys, love the pod. I love the episodes where it's just Karl and Sapnap, but also love the guests. Also, Karl is muscular and Sapnap is wimpy. See you guys later." That is a actual. That is a review. That is a review that they wrote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Ouch.
if you guys want a chance, you can always review us 5 stars and let us know something, and maybe we'll read it out loud. Thank you so much, Josh. I really do appreciate it. It's finally happened. We finally came together and did something.
Dude, what an honor. So happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Josh, where can they find you? If you have anything else you want to shout out?
Yeah, just some Male Models podcast and my book, Happy People Are Annoying. And I guess Shua Peck on Instagram.
Awesome. Appreciate
Thanks,
it. All right,
bros.
thanks guys, and I'll see you guys here. I hope you listen soon. Bye.